Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Pretty Petty Politics. Make sure you go ahead and share this with others on your timeline. Text them the link. If you're on YouTube, thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, Pretty Petty Politics. I am live tonight with none other than Dwight Boykins, candidate for Houston City Council at Large Position 4. That is a mouthful. But welcome to Pretty Petty Politics. Happy I've seen you a lot lately. Seen you at church. Seen you just seen you. So welcome to the platform. First question I ask everyone: tell me or tell us. Is he frozen? Uh-oh. I think he's frozen, but just give us a second. And once he gets back up, we will resume. I can hear you, but I can't see you. If that helps.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Y'all know technology does what it's gonna do. So just bear with us. I don't know what's happened. But anyway, how y'all doing tonight? Hopefully everyone is doing well. Again, we are joined with Dwight Boykins, candidate for Houston City Council at large position 4. And that's what we get for starting early. God told us to start on time, not early. We're a few minutes early. Okay, there you are.
Sorry about that.
Remove this one. Okay. So Houston City Council at large 4 candidate. See, this is what we get for starting early, Mr. Boykins.
We could wait a couple more minutes if you want to.
No, it's fine. We fine. We on here now. I'm just teasing with you anyway. Okay. So tell us about your first time voting. What was that like?
I had just turned 18, and there was a gentleman by the name of Ovid Duncantel, who since passed, was running for city council. And we grew up in southeast part of Houston in the projects. Okay. And, to hear people talk about making a better quality of life for people, I didn't know what, the word politics meant. But he would talk about it, and I was volunteering to help push cards for him when I was 17. And when I became 18, I realized that city and state and federal government could be used to help people such as my mother raising us 6 boys by herself for a while, and just people who needed help. And
oh Lord, this technology.
We call these and all the food stamps and all that got us through. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, that got us through. And so I saw where government played a role, and when I turned 18, I couldn't wait to go vote, and that's what I did. That's who inspired me, Ovid Duncantel.
Say his first name again.
Ovid
Duncantel.
Duncantel, yeah, he's since passed on, yeah.
Okay. And you said you grew up in Southeast Houston?
South Union, baby. South Union.
South Union. All right. Well, we're happy to have you here this evening. I'm going to go into our first question. All right. This is a community question. This came from Southwest Houston.
So we live now? We live now?
Oh, yeah, we live.
Okay, good. All right.
This question is, where have you been? You've seemingly disappeared from the public eye.
Well, that means the public been on vacation because I've been here and working. When I was on city council, I created a program. I'm glad you brought that up, Julie, because a lot of people do that. I didn't do that. To create a program called Seniors Assistance Fund. And we set that up to help seniors with minor home repairs at no cost. So I just boosted that program. So when I came off of council, I ran for mayor and did not win. We received a call maybe a year, 8 months after, from a company called Dow Cole Roofing. And they want to partner with our nonprofit, which we did for 12 months. And we got a chance to allow They wanted us to help identify 12 senior citizens that needed a new roof. And of course, if they needed a roof, the sheetrock probably have leaked inside. So my nonprofit came in and did the repairs on the inside. What was unique by that, one of the contractors, we had several, but one of the contractors was a second chance program person who made a mistake, got himself together, started his own business, got a family, and doing it the right way and doing real well. So it worked. It was full circle, Julie, to make certain that the program was structured to help seniors, but it also helped those who were in need of a second chance. Just recently, so we repaired over 607 homes during my 10-year on council and after council. But during this recent storm, if you remember last year, there were a lot of a lot of seniors that trees fell on their houses and cars. And so I reached out to 4 different churches and asked the pastors to donate resources to help us through the nonprofit get these trees cut for seniors. Reverend Timothy Sloan at the Luke donated $5,000. Pastor Terry, Pastor Terry Anderson at Lily Grove donated $5,000. Pastor Marcus Cosby at Wheeler donated $5,000, and Pastor DZ Cofield donated $5,000. So we collected $20,000 and cut up about 28 to 29 trees for seniors. And we did it. It was the right thing to do. You'd be amazed all the seniors that was crying and just happy because they on fixed income. They didn't have the money to do it. And so we did that. So I've been around.
So you helped remove trees and fix roofing. You collaborated to fix roofing. Home repair for seniors. And so you've been doing that. So you left council. That election was 2019.
Yeah.
So for the last 6 years, that's been a big part of what you've been doing in the community.
And during COVID, after losing a brother, it kind of put me back a little bit. But we came up with a program because everybody was locked in. I called then former police chief Troy Fenner and Sheriff Ed Gonzalez and asked them to help identify high crime area with kids. And we were from Haverstock all the way to CUNY Homes, identifying the kids. And we put together what we call changing one life at a time by using the game of basketball. We had sponsors, the whole 9 yards. The community got engaged because I couldn't do it by myself. So what we did is use basketball as a nucleus to get the kids to play, to build a relationship with the police department and the fire department. But what they didn't realize was this. We'd also contact all of the colleges in universities in Houston, Texas. And I asked all those directors of athletics, would they allow that police officer, firefighter to take the same inner city kid to the college campus for a sporting event free of charge? And they did. And we're going to pick that program back up because it was just a one-time deal. But it gave a kid a chance to see a college campus, which I did not until my senior year in high school, and to interact with a first responder who can change their life. So that's what your boy been doing all this time. I've been busy.
You've been busy. Okay. Another question, community question. We have our ticker going. So these are the questions from the community. And if you're just joining us tonight, we are joined by former Houston City Councilman for District D, Dwight Boykins, who is a candidate for Houston City Council position 4, at large position 4, which is correct, which represents everyone in the city of Houston, not just a particular district. The next question, and I like this one because I had kind of written one similar. Like several viewers who sent in questions and comments, I'm curious. Tell us about your alignment with DA Kim Ogg following your loss in the mayoral race in 2019 and basically your departure from city council.
When I was on city council, I created a program called Second Chance, and it gave an opportunity for those who made mistakes, including nonviolent ex-felons, an opportunity to re-enter into the workforce. And by doing that, we changed the application at the city of Houston from if you're an ex-felon. So if you said yes and you wasn't going to get an interview. If you said no and you lied on the application, they would fire you. So we made certain we changed that. Once that, we had a big event at Georgia Brown Convention Center, Julie, about 6,000 people turned out. Kim Ogg was one of them that came. She was one of the speakers. And because they were so impressed, she had reduced her caseload And I think it was some legislation that changed it as well, to where misdemeanor cases were being thrown out. Minor, I mean, you're a lawyer, you may know that better than I do, but minor cases, drug paraphernalia and marijuana was being thrown out. So Kim said she had a diversion program that she wanted my program to merge with her diversion program. So I was contract with her with my second chance program to help try to find jobs for these individuals. So that's what I did for 2 years.
So did you work for the DA's office, or you were just a contract, um, like a
No,
vendor with the DA?
yeah, I was a contract. I wish I worked there. They have a hell of a benefit retirement plan over there. I only worked 2 years though. I was a contract.
Okay, okay, because a lot of side eyes about that alignment.
Yeah, but I don't get in the middle of judging people like that. She wanted to change lives when I was there.
Okay,
And I'm sure she still feel the same way, and that's why we did that. And Kim's a friend. I don't turn on friends. We may differ in politics, but if you're a friend, you're a friend.
she not very friendly, so I'm gonna just be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Speaking of the mayoral race, now this is the big one. Speaking of the mayoral race, prior to announcing, because I tracked this. Oh, I was on you. You weren't public enemy number one, but
I was close, huh? Okay.
close. I'm like, what is he doing? So in 2018, 2018, I remember watching council meeting. It was an August meeting, and you were just going on and on about the firefighters. And I kept telling people he about to announce he gonna run for mayor. They were like, he's not gonna run for mayor. I'm like, yes, he is. I have seen this a million times. And I saw you speak off Griggs over there at the JP Court. I don't know if it's NAACP or urban, like for some meeting, some community meeting.
Probably H-Bad.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, probably H-Bad. And I was like, yeah, he's gonna run. Because you were talking about the firefighters. So throughout your campaign, just like prior to announcing, you campaigned big on the firefighters. So here are 3 questions, and these are just yes or no, right? Because I know we go all night about this, but these are yes or no answers. So the first one is, do you maintain the same stance today in support of the firefighters receiving a lump sum payment?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you agree with the 14-3 lump sum vote, which averaged about 160,000 per firefighter?
Yes, but let me tell you.
You
See,
can.
those are not because it's unfair to ask me that question without telling you what that means in my position on it. But if you want a yes, I guess the answer is yes. Because we don't calculate the payments. I mean, it was back pay.
No, you didn't calculate it, but that's about what it averaged.
Yeah, it was based on.
Calculated.
Yeah, it was based. That number was based on
back pay,
rank and back pay, because assistant chief got 240,000. So it depends on
average. That's why I use the word average.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Just so for the listeners, and you're right, but that's why I use the word. That's why I use the phrase which average 160,000 per firefighter. And then lastly, do you think that decision was fiscally responsible of Mayor Whitmire, who you are hoping to work with soon? Do you think that decision was fiscally responsible in 2024, considering the impact that it has made on the city deficit?
Well, it's going to be hard to say it has an impact on the deficit when you have other expenditures. What the mayor did was issue bonds. That's what I would have done if I was the mayor, because you have bonding capabilities and authority to be able to issue based on the debt. And you got to understand this, Julie, I tell people this all the time. When it's your family impacted by it, then you all go Dwight, or go whoever, until it impacts your family. And I don't want to go down the trail of where the former mayor, and I had some crosshairs, but I was an ally for him for many years. When we got to this point, when the voters voted and said, give him equal pay, and he chose not to, it just became an issue. And the difference between me and others, I'm not a politician. I serve the public regardless. And I would have done the same for a police department, let me be clear, or city workers. In particular, if the voters say yes, we are public servants. We're not a dictator down there. And because our skin look the same, people assume that we don't bump heads. And whether it was a Nice Parker or Sylvester Turner, I'm always trying to do what I believe is right. And it was unfortunate, but it's amazing how Mayor Whitmire came in and got the payment settled. The same with the Rebuild Houston infrastructure program. The federal government the state government and the city has agreed to a settlement because money was not being spent properly. And now that money is going to be placed in a lockbox. And as a council member, that's dealing with street and drainage.
No. Let's stick to the
okay.
firefighter.
The point I'm making is sometimes the administration can take you there. You hear Ed Pollard right now and the mayor disagreeing on things. It's not a personal thing when you're sitting around there. It's who you are as a person.
It's an advocacy thing.
Yeah. And Absolutely. It wasn't personal.
No. And so the question wasn't directed at the Turner administration. It was directed at the decision that has been made under the current administration, moving forward with the lump sum instead of making the payments over a span of time, which would have, and some folks and some experts believe would have been more fiscally sound for the city overall.
Well, hang on. Let me throw this at you to those experts. I hope they tell you both sides of their coin, because the settlement also did not include pension payments, deferred comp, and all that. So they just settled on the pay. If they would have done that, Julie, you'd have been in the billions of dollars. So it was a settlement just on back pay only. That's why that number was at 600 million. It could have been double that, easy. If you think about it, even where you work, I'm just saying with your pension, retirement, and all that the city would normally pay into.
Ain't nobody protesting to make sure educators get paid more. Giving us more work. So don't talk about where I work.
You got plenty of money.
Thank you. Let's claim it in the name of the Lord. Amen. Okay. So with that, I want to stay in this vein just a little bit. We've seen this year, and it can be argued that it is residual or the result of what has happened with those lump sum payments. We've seen where it has impacted other municipal departments and employees. What is your position on what took place with the early retirement is what I want to call it, where some people still have, some people did not get their payments for months, like a third of the employees who signed up to retire early. What is your position on that?
Well, again, not sitting at the horseshoe knowing exactly what happened, but there's a pension department and there's the city administration. They're two different entities. Then you have finance department. So when, as a person who received that word from the mayor and maybe a letter from the pension department that they were going to receive their income, they were expecting their money. You can't fault them for that. And that was part of the deal in their mind to leave early to capture that money. Not sitting at the table, understanding where the breakdown took place, because you hear different stories, and I don't want to get in the middle of anyone's debate, not knowing the facts. But what I would have done is made certain that one, not two, but one individual that would claim they hadn't gotten their money, figure out what the process was and why that one individual hadn't received their pay before it run down like a cannonball running down the hill. So I don't have the inside of understanding where the breakdown was, but I'm sure they are doing their best to try to solve their problem.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't get in everybody's business, Julie. You'll find that out.
Well, I feel like this is everybody's business. This is the city of Houston business.
Yeah, but it's some lanes that you don't, until you're sitting at the table.
I'll start a fire.
Uh-oh.
All right, here's the next question. As a former district council member, no. How will at-large, I'm trying to read what's on the screen and what's on my phone. These little words, these little notes, I don't know if you can see them.
Give it your best shot.
Both of these questions are about the same. Okay. How will at-large council member Boykins be different from Boykins, the district council member?
That's a great question, because the district council member, you had what we call council service dollars, Julie, and we had about $1 million to do some great things in your community. And I was just so pleased with a lot of the projects my team put together that we solved a lot of problems in our neighborhood. At large is more broad, and you're taking a broader scope. For an example, I went out in the Kingwood area and I was talking to those residents about what we need to do to make certain when Lake Houston is flooded, is up to crest, before it flood our communities, what we need to do to make certain that water from Lake Houston don't just run north to south. And so they were talking about lift gates. They have 2, they raised about 30 million, and they need 2 more, maybe 4 more. And I said, okay. So I've come up with a plan to work with the Army Corps of Engineers and Coastal Water Authority to try to pursue more money for new lift gates. So as an at-large council member, you have an opportunity to travel more to DC, focus on those issues. Then my policing program is more of a community policing. As I mentioned to you about my second chance program, my Changing One Life at a Time program, my community policing is just bringing it back to the community from a broader scope where the community feels safe with you and know that they can communicate with you. So if you're a Houston police officer and you live within the city of Houston boundaries, you're eligible to participate in the program, and it allows you to take the patrol car home. But what comes with that is this, because you're not paying gas, you're not paying insurance and all the maintenance. You have to patrol within the 30 mile, it's been a long day. You have to patrol 30 minutes within a 2-mile radius of your house before you go to work, 30 minutes within a 2-mile radius when you come home, and then park that car in front of your house. You would have an immediate reduction in crime in that area just by that program alone. However, every 3 months, we're going to evaluate those participants, because if they have not mentored a kid in the community, they get out the program, because it's not about arrest. It's about mentoring and reducing crime in your neighborhood.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you for that. This question is similar. It's in that same vein. As a former district council member now running for an at-large position, how will you work with the mayor and city council members to advocate for the needs of residents across all districts, especially when the residents and district council members' priorities differ from Mayor Whitmire?
And that's a great question, because as an at-large council member, you have 5 total at-larges, and each one tend to find some niche. Like Councilmember Twyla Carter, I think she's working with the homeless. And if she needs my support on issues that I agree with based on the research, you can look at it, read it, and then get behind that council member. With the district council members, one of the things I've learned being a district council member, you typically don't want at-larges in your business. But what I will do is, be very respectful to each district council member. However, if the resident calls me, I feel at that point they done reached out to their district, reach out to the mayor's office, and for some reason they think that I would do what I could to get the job done. I'm not going to turn my back on that residents, because the need is still there. The problem is still there. And I would let that district council member know we're working on it. They may be tied up on other projects, but when it gets to me, it's hard for me to turn my back. And one of the other things, Julie, unlike most council members, I take it very serious. I'm not saying the ones we have now are not like this, but I take it very serious, and I tell my staff, they elected me, not you. So if Julie calls me and say I have this issue going on, I'm going to try my best to go out myself. The last thing I want to hear people saying, we voted you in, ain't seen you since the election. That ain't the way I operate.
I got you. All right. So we are coming up to the end of our time. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
It went quick. And we even started a few minutes early, but so you got an extra 10 minutes. So I know the other candidates going to be looking for their 10. Let me go ahead and give you an opportunity to give closing remarks, tell people about how they can support you, and any other information you would like to share with the viewers that are on live or those who will watch the replay.
Well, Julie, thank you so much for having me. And I tell you, Houston is a beautiful city, and I'm sure you guys living here understand that as well. A lot of people coming in from different parts of the country and the world to move to Houston because we're one of the most diverse cities in the country. I love this city. The city has raised me, When I went to city council, I had so much support. And even with this race, I have almost every police agency. I have all kind of supporters from Kingwood to Clear Lake, all the way around, where signs in the yards and people are behind me. We're going to do what's right by Houstonians. One thing you don't get from me, you will find that this job doesn't make me. I'm who I am today. And, I've had a great life serving the residents of Houston. I will continue that. I'm accessible. I'm going to make sure I have some big, bold plans. I look forward to work with the mayor and the city council to move our city forward. It's never about me. It's about advancing the needs of the people in this city. And again, this is Dwight Boykins asking for your vote. If you would like, early voting starts next Monday. Listen, guys, listen. Mail ballots out right now, and only 800 people voted. It's a very, very low turnout because it's a special election. Every single vote is going to count. I'm number 13 out of 14. Someone else pulled a ballot number. And so when you go and vote at Wheel Avenue or West Grade Multi-Service Center, wherever you go early, please remember Dwight Boykins, number 13, and I hope I can count on you.
All right.
And you can volunteer. Call me or text me, 713-203-2835, 713-203-2835. That's my personal cell. Text, no call, and leave your information and tell me what you need, and I'll get back with you.
And he responds quick. I'll give you that. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us. Please stay while I do our closing remarks.
Okay.
Just stick around for me. All right. So what's next? We have 2 more interviews coming up this week. We have Jordan Thomas tomorrow evening, and we have Alejandra Salinas on Friday at 3. We had to reschedule her. Also, as Mr. Boykins has already shared, early voting begins on Monday, and that is throughout Harris County, but throughout the state of Texas. If you're not here in Harris County, early voting starts Monday. We have 17 constitutional amendment propositions, so proposals to extend our Constitution. So make sure that you are reviewing those. We will do some reviews, but our community, this is the big thing. Our community input survey is out, and I've been peeking at it every day to see how many people have turned it in. We will give those results on Sunday, and the endorsements will be based on those. So please make sure if you receive that survey that you complete it, because that is how the endorsements will be determined through those surveys. Pink, any endorsements in pink came directly from me. Any that are in blue came from committee. All right, from the Community Input Committee. So want to thank you. We will see you next time on Pretty Petty Politics. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. And if you want to support, you can go to my website. You can purchase a physical copy from Amazon, or you can order an ebook of my collection of recipes, Not by Bread Alone. That is a way that you can support me and get something out of it besides all this great information, because I want to share all my gifts with you. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mr. Boykins.
Thank you.
All right.